You're telling me Joel Schumacher thinks I carry a Bat credit card around with me? This is why Tim Burton, Christopher Nolan, and Matt Reeves work alone. Batman and Robin, or Batman and Rossen more like, is the second and thank fuck final Batman movie to be directed by Joel Schumacher, and is the fourth and final installment of the original Batman series, which is single-handedly responsible for the franchise's tragic and untimely demise. Batman would be dead for 8 years straight because of Batman and Rossen. I mean, we finally come to it, guys. The most infamous Batman movie, The Black Sheep of Batman, one of the most hated and banned superhero movies in history. So Batman and Robin, do any of you actually care what it tells the story of? But for those of you who actually give a shit about the plots and don't want to skip the plot synopsis, I'll do my best, but it's hard to explain. There's literally over 10 storylines going on, Batman and Robin get into bitch fights about who's going to save the day from Mr. Freeze. Just frozen his wife Norma to try and save her life, and he wants to freeze Gotham or something. And Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy gets involved, and so does Bane. And then Alfred's niece Barbara, also known as Batgirl, played by Lisa Silverstone, joins the Bat Crew. So yeah, there is no central story whatsoever. But believe it or not, this is not going to be one of my more explosive rants, as I don't think Batman and Robin is the worst superhero film ever made, as everybody says. Want to know why I'm more forgiving to this one than most? Well, I'll put it simple. Joel Schumacher apologized for it, and I say apology accepted, Joel.
If I disappointed them in any way, then I really want to apologize, because it wasn't my intention. My intention was just to entertain them.
That was so sincere and genuine of him to realise he upsets the Batman fan base. Rest in peace, Joel Schumacher. You were still a good filmmaker, but of course his apology doesn't change that as a Batman and Robin is still a bad movie. Is it physically possible to find any good qualities to Batman and Robin? Well, I think at least Alicia Silverstone and Uma Thurman as Batgirl and Poison Ivy are pretty hot. I just wish Batgirl had gotten her own solo movie before she was brought into the Batman franchise, and I just wish she was in a movie that took itself way darker. And I wish Poison Ivy wasn't treated like a prostitute or sex toy throughout the movie. And I guess this movie is the definition of camp. So you can at least have one hell of a time laughing and pointing out just how shit this is. Just I get what Joel Schumacher was trying to do, just trying to entertain us, but but if you thought he took the camp too far in Batman Forever, he took it to the point of no return in Batman and Robin. Right off the bat, so when the first opening shots of this movie are bat arse and bat nipples, and Robin saying, "I want a car, chicks dig the car," and Batman responding, "This is why Superman works alone." Not only is that the most nonsensical and stupidest dialogue to put in a Batman movie, but you don't just say Superman is in the Batman universe out of nowhere. This isn't Justice League, this is Batman. Just Michael Goff as Alfred. Oh, I feel so bad for Michael Goff that this was tragically one of the last movies he ever got to be in. I mean, and his last performance as Alfred, he deserved so much better. They Joel Schumacher made him say lines like, I'll cancel the pizzas and we're going to need a bigger cave. I mean, if you thought Alfred got cheeseball dialogue in Batman Forever when he's like, can I persuade you to take a sandwich, sir? I mean, I'll cancel the pizzas. I mean, that is the worst Alfred line of dialogue areas. And don't even get me started on Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. He may be the worst actor of them all in Batman and Robin. His performance is unspeakably awful as Mr. Freeze. It sucks that Mr. Freeze has never appeared in a Batman movie since. It's been 25 years and we still haven't had a good movie version of Mr. Freeze. Just focus on the storyline about him freezing his wife Norma to try and keep her alive. Actually, have that to be the center of his conflict, but no, they make him say pure cheeseball lines of dialogue. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Fuck Mela Beaster, baby. That hurts to hear. It wasn't the Ice Age that killed the dinosaurs. It was the meteorite. Get your facts right, John. And the action scenes here are nothing but piles of lazy shit. I mean, they do not look like action scenes you would see in a Batman movie. The fight scene between Batman and Mr. Freeze looks like a freaking hockey game. And Batman going, hey, Freeze, I'm Batman. I'm like, oh, just fucking stop it. It's like, your shitty dialogue is giving me a migraine. And George Clooney as Batman. What a absolutely pathetic Batman. I mean, George Clooney's the worst on-screen Batman. Even Robert Pattinson, Edward from Twilight, is more suited for the role of Batman. Even George Clooney himself admitted he deeply regrets ever having anything to do with this movie. And Chris O'Donnell as Robin. Oh my god, he has officially become the Jar Jar Binks of Batman. All he does is bitch and bitch and bitch like a whiny, out of control toddler. Why the fuck are Batman supposed to care about Robin? Why the fuck are we supposed to like this incarnation of Robin? I most certainly don't. In fact, with a movie titled Batman and Robin, you'd think that would be the perfect opportunity to, show the sentimental bond between Batman and Robin. Yet it barely focuses on Batman and Robin at all. You got to put up with all the sheer goofiness of Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Bane, and Batgirl, and Bane. Oh boy, did they fuck up Bane beyond belief. I mean, remember Tom Hardy's badass Bane in The Dark Knight Rises? There's no excuse why Bane in the original series couldn't have been like that. This Bane looks like a Wayne Mysterio wrestler on drugs or something, and he always goes, Bane! In fact, that brings us to the core of this movie's story issues. There is way too much shit going on. With three villains and all of these storylines that feel like they are far too much for just one movie. It suffers from Amazing Spider-Man 2 syndrome, and that's the worst syndrome to have ever. But here is what I despise more than anything about the Batman and Robin. Let's bring out the Bat credit cards. We're in the auction when Batman and Robin are betting on Poison Ivy. Yes, I am speechless. I cannot believe that actually happened in a Batman movie, and Batman gets out his Bat credit card. This was my favourite part of the Nostalgia Critics Batman and Robin review. I will admit, one of the few good things that came out of Batman and Robin was it gave us one of the greatest Nostalgia Critic reviews, and one of the funniest, and the invention of the description super crapper-fuckerific expiala bullshit. I am with Doug Walker 1 trillion% the inclusion of the bat credit cards. The moment I saw that, I literally lost all hope in this movie and just sank into my seat in despair. So here's what I'm gonna do to the bat credit card now. Fucking die. Oh yeah, this fucking bat credit card is literally the death of Batman. I wouldn't be surprised if all Batman fans who saw this back in 1997 became an ex-Batman fan. It is the bane of Batman fans' existence. I mean, what next? You might as well give Batman a bat condom when he's having sex with Catwoman. That's like giving Wonder Woman a Amazonian bikini or Superman a Kryptonian voucher. We don't talk about the bat credit card. No, no, no. We don't talk about the bat credit card. So overall, Batman and Robin sucks for sure and is still by far the worst Batman movie of all time. Yet amazingly, I can think of a handful of superhero films that I think are worse. I say both Amazing Spider-Man movies are way worse, especially The Amazing Spider-Man 2. You all know how I feel about that one. I think Fantastic is worse. I even think Superman 4 Quest for Peace is worse. I mean, in fact, Batman and Robin is kind of like the Superman 4 of Batman, where both Superman and Batman franchises needed rebooting after their failed fourth installments. I give Batman and Robin 1 star out of 5. Sorry, but this is still the only Batman movie I'd rate. Fuck this movie. Well, thank goodness there was only 2 Joel Schumacher Batman movies to get through, but thankfully that's where the bad Batman movies came to a close because Batman and Robin sucked so hard. At least 8 years later, we got the magnificence that was Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy and Batflick in the DCU. Since then, Batman has been in good hands. So I just know the Batman. I mean, even if it's doesn't turn out to be the best Batman movie ever, I just know for a fact there's no way it's going to be worse than the Joel Schumacher duology. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on Batman and Robin? Are you with me in that it's bad, but not quite the worst superhero movie of all time? Or do you passionately hate it even more than I do, and it is your least favourite superhero film? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and Instagram. And I'll see you next time. And at long last, my Batman reviews for the time being are done. I mean, I may review Mask of the Phantasm just before the Batman 2, just for completion, as that will be a true breath of fresh air after Batman and Robin. and remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.